How's it going, everyone? MajorRushMore here, and this is the first episode in a new series I'm doing on my channel called A Major Story. And what major as in Major Rushmore, and it's a major story because it's something that happened in my life, and I hope you're going to find it entertaining. So I'm going to do a whole series of these. As always, I'd love if you could give me your comments and feedback in the comments section below. And I'm pretty new to these commentaries. I know I've been in YouTube for quite a while. I've been on it for over a year, but I don't really do these commentary kind of things. I normally do live face cams and live reactions and stuff. As I said, these commentaries are kind of new to me, so please bear with me. You'll probably find that I use the same catchphrases and words over and over again, which can be quite annoying. I apologise, it's just a pretty bad habit that I have. I'm probably a bit nervous. I try and fill the gaps when I'm trying to think. I just use these words like, you know, and all of a sudden, and all that kind of stuff, and you know what I mean. There you go. All that, so please forgive me. I know it's going to be annoying when I keep saying it and saying it and saying it. I'll probably say those catchphrases about 20 times in this video, but anyway, please grin and bear it. I'll get better and better as these stories continue. This first story, it's about how I met my wife. I hope you find it entertaining. It's quite long-winded, 20 minutes long. I'm trying to put a bit of an intro at the start of it so I can synchronize the time up with my gameplay in the background, because I'm not sure how to do it. Like I've recorded the gameplay first, and I try to cut out all of the deaths and all that, so it's not so long-winded, but I need 4 minutes of an intro or something like that to fill up the gaps, so apologies about all this waffle at the start. As you can see, the gameplay in the background, it's Battlefield 4. Absolutely fucking love this game. It's just so diverse, the stuff you can do in it, the roles you can play, the maps are huge, playing as squads, playing the objective. I'm telling you, it's a great fucking game. Yes, it has its bugs, it has its problems like every fucking game does, but I mean to say, it's so enjoyable, especially when you have a squad with you and you know what you're doing. Oh, fuck, I'm after losing train of thought now. Where the fuck was I? Disaster. I can't remember what the fuck I was talking about. I'm after doing it again. After ruining the fucking intro now, I can't stand it. Here's the rage gauge all over. Yeah, sorry, that's what I was talking about. The rage gauge and Call of Duty Ghosts. I'm fucked up of it, to tell you the truth. Ghost is great. It's a Twitch Call of Duty. They're Twitch shooters. Like, if you want to get a quick fix of gaming, they're great. By all means, go ahead and do it. Great fun. Couple of minutes, like what is it, 10 minutes long on the average game, I'd say, and a lot of fun. Yeah, grand, if you can put up with the campers. I, as you know, have an issue with campers and all the fucking frustrations that go along with it, and I do be screaming and ranting and raving, and thus that gave birth to the rage gauge, and you see what I've been doing with all those videos. I'm getting fucked up at doing them. There's only so much you can do. I'm always complaining about campers. I know my channel was built on Call of Duty, and the rage gauge is what made it what it is, but I can't. There's nowhere else I can take it. You've seen it. If you want to get your fill of rage, keep going through all the rest of the rage gauge videos that you haven't seen. Or there's another guy on YouTube called El Presador who I kind of learned the trade off doing rage videos. But I'm fucked up at doing them. I'm getting more and more into Battlefield. I play Call of Duty every now and again just to get a quick fix, but when I want something really enjoyable, I get into a game and I get lost in it, and this is the game, Battlefield 4. There's going to be other games that come out now soon as well that I'm going to get into, but Watch Dogs is something that sounds very interesting. I don't know, I haven't played it, so watch this space, but in the meantime, I'm going to be a predominantly Battlefield 4 player. The gameplays are quite long-winded. I know I've said it already. You might find it boring as fuck, but all you Call of Duty fanboys, I'm on myself, let's face it, but you have to fucking try this game. It's fucking amazing. I had it on the Xbox 360 Battlefield 3. Really enjoyed it. When I got the PlayStation 4, I got Ghosts with it. A couple of days later, my wife bought me a present of Battlefield 4 to go along with it. And I mean to say, all the updates, I bought the premium pack. I got all the maps, all the levels. It's a fucking amazing game. You really need to try it. Please, just do me before you don't bother watching the rest of this video, have a look at it and see the different stuff you can do in it. You can get into vehicles. So diverse, so diverse. I can't promote the game enough. Just get into it, try it, have a go at it. Bit of a learning curve when you're switching from COD, but it is worth it in the long run. Anyway, I'm getting to the end of my intro. The gameplay is going to start kicking in now, and here's the story. This story is about how I met my wife. Now, I'm married since 2007. I've been going out with my wife for about 4 years before that, courting, as we call it over here in Ireland. I was a bouncer in a nightclub. I was bouncing, as we call it, a door security. I don't know what you call it in America, but over here in Ireland and the UK we call it bouncing. Door security, all that kind of stuff. But so I was a bouncer in a nightclub, and loved that job. Fucking brilliant. I could tell you all sorts of stories about that. But anyway, in a nutshell, I was there one night, bouncing away, standing up on the dance floor, just monitoring all the customers there on the dance floor, making sure everyone was behaving. And all of a sudden I got this tap on my shoulder, like, you know what I mean? And this girl was there beside me. And I looked around and she's pretty. Alright. And I said to her, alright, what's going on here? And she goes, I can do this. Oh, this is easy. Oh, sure, I can do it. You know, the drunken crap and all you have to put up with as usual. So I just laughed and paid no more attention really. And then she kept persisting, and I was like having a bit of a chat with her there then while I was trying to work, you know. Trying to keep my eye on everyone as well. So anyway, we got talking at the end of the night anyway. When everyone was gone, she was there and she was hanging around, and we got talking, and I had to explain to her that no, sorry, I had a girlfriend at the time that I couldn't go off with her, like, you know what I mean, because I already had a girlfriend, so I wasn't going to do the dirt or do the dirt, as we say over here. I don't know what they call it in America really, but do the dirt. And so I wasn't going to do that, so maybe sometime in the future if you're around I'll give you a shout. Cut a long story short anyway, she wasn't too impressed and she went ahead with herself and all that kind of stuff. So I kept continuing bouncing away, going out with this other girl who I was at the time, and practically forgot about her, like, you know, didn't pay any more attention to it. A couple of months later I finished bouncing. I had been bouncing for about 2.5 years in various venues, but at this stage I stopped bouncing, and I was out one night with my best friend, and I was there in the nightclub where I worked. It was called Benedict's in Enniscorthy in County Wexford. It's in the southeastern corner of Ireland. It's a nightclub called Benedict's. Pretty good. I was there. It was a traffic light ball, as they call it, one of these theme nights where everyone has a sticker. If you're available, you have a green sticker. If you're not available, you have a red sticker. And if you're not sure or you don't know what to do, you have an amber sticker, just like the traffic lights. So I had a green sticker anyway, and we had a name. You had the names of famous couples on them as well. So I was green and I was Homer Simpson because I was a guy. I don't know, it's a long story, but anyway, so I was in a nightclub, minding my own business, drinking away, trying to keep my eye on any scene. Was there any victims out there? You know what I mean? Try and bring them home, or whatever. What do you do? You know. And next minute I spotted my wife, who was I seen at the far side of the nightclub. She was going one way, so I was about to go the other. But as soon as I saw her, I changed my course and I made it so that I would bump into her when I was walking by. So I changed my course. I walked around the dance floor and I bumped into her, and I goes, "Oh, how's it going? Blah blah blah. Remember me? Blah blah blah." All this kind of stuff. Now she was fairly jarred at this time, fairly well on, like, you know, but I only had a couple of pints of me or whatever. But we got talking, all that kind of stuff. Bought her a drink, the usual stuff, and we were there, blah blah blah, having a good time, dancing away, having a few drinks, having a laugh, as you do. End of the night then, we were going out the nightclub, and we were coming down to the main door. I was saying goodnight to all my old colleagues, the other bouncers that were there and all that. All of a sudden I seen this guy running 100 mile an hour up the street, you know. I couldn't believe it. Like, it just went really, really fast by up the street, and I was like, fucking hell, what's going on here? And next minute I heard the pitter-patter of tiny feet, as they call it. I heard about 10 people running up behind this guy, you know, trying to chase him down. They're obviously out to get his blood or something like that. So all of a sudden one of them caught with this other guy who they were chasing, and they started kicking the shite out of him and all, you know, and beating the crap out of him. And then these other guys jumped in to try and save the other guy, and there's a whole big it was like a Royal Rumble on the middle of the street, you know what I mean? Everyone was there. Next minute I looked at my wife, who I'm not going to name, and she doesn't really want to be on these videos, but my wife, well, I was only seen her then, like I wasn't even dating her at this stage. She took a beeline and ran straight into the middle of this fight and started kicking these guys on the ground who were attacking this other guy. She started kicking these guys and pulling them and boxing and everything. I was like, Jesus Christ. very, very classy bird here I have, you know what I mean? So I didn't want to get involved because I didn't know who the people were, and I said to myself, fucking hell, I'm not getting involved with that, like. And so I paid no more attention. I went ahead with my business, went home on my own, and I had no woman that night. The following day, anyway, I got up at about 12 o'clock recovering from a hangover, and I sent my wife, I'll call her my wife, right, because she wasn't my wife at the time. I sent her a text message asking her how did she get on, was everything okay, and I was sorry to see what happened there last night, what was going on, are you alright? And it turned out that it was her brother who was being chased and was attacked by these other guys, and then her other brothers jumps in. Now she has 7 brothers and they're all huge, they're bigger than me, like, you know what I mean, they're tough guys now, you know, and they all jumped in. There was like a Royal Rumble on the street, so I was like, fucking hell. But seemingly she was impressed that I had the guts to text her the following day. I just done it out of decency, like out of courtesy, you know. And she was impressed, and we got chatting away for the next week or so, text messages, phone calls, all that kind of stuff, and we said we'd arrange a date. Now remember, I classed her as a pretty classy bird after seeing her kicking these guys on the ground, you know, but for her family's honour she had to do it. So we agreed to go out on a date, back to the same nightclub again. So I was out there, suited and booted, met her up, went in for a few drinks, started the night fresh. The two of us had no drinks on us, and then we started drinking, and you know the usual stuff going out on a date, in the pub, in the nightclub, all that kind of stuff. So we went from pub to pub. We ended up in the nightclub, the same nightclub again, Benedict's and Enniscorthy. We were in there about half an hour, and I could see, like, I still have my wits about me, like, you know what I mean, and I'd always be, because I was trained as a bouncer and a doorman or whatever you call them, I'd kind of have this peripheral vision where I could see what's going on in a nightclub, even though I'd have a few jars on me. But there was this guy, you know, there was a stag, it turned out that there were a stag night from Tipperary, and there was one of them, the stag, the guy who was getting married. He was extremely fucking drunk. Now I'm gonna say, normally if I was bouncing I would have thrown him out because he was just too drunk, you know, he had his fill. But I was watching him anyway at the corner of my eye, and he was falling around the place, hitting off everyone, being real boisterous, you know, hitting, you know, just making a big deal out of everything, like, you know, hitting off everyone, spilling over drinks, and I was like, for fuck's sake. And I could tell that the other bouncers in the nightclub were watching him as well. Now the nightclub was packed this night, it was a Saturday night, it was booming. So we were on this kind of a split level at the bar, looking down over the dance floor, and we were standing at a railing kind of, and had our drinks. So all of a sudden my wife decides that she needs to go to the toilet. So I said, that's fine, yeah, work away. So I said, I'll mind your spot beside me at the railing. And so she went ahead, went to the toilet. I was there. I put my arm on the railing as if I had my arm around her, you know what I mean? Like there was a space beside me. So I had my arm there to keep her space for her. Because it was, it was like sardines, everyone was jam-packed in. All of a sudden, I just fucking got pushed to one side, basically. This fucking big lump of it had just barreled into me, trying to get in beside his mate to talk to his mate or whatever it was. It turned out it was this guy, the drunkard, the guy who was stag it was. Now this guy was about fucking 6'4" and about fucking 25 stone. He was a bit like a shipwreck house now. But he was drunk. He pushed into me anyway, so as soon as I got pushed, I turned around, and it's just an instinct thing with me. Someone does something to me, I do the same to them. So I just grabbed him by the scruff of the neck, I pushed him back, and I fucked him on the ground, like, you know. Fucked him onto the ground. Not fucked him literally, like, you know what I mean, but I just got him and fucked him on the ground. And he got up all of a sudden, and he was like a fucking bull, you know what I mean, wanting to go at it and all this. I was like, for fuck's sake. I didn't want nothing to do with it, you know. It was just an instinct reaction on my behalf. So I just turned me back to him and let him on with his business. And I just returned back to put my arm on the rail and mind my own business and all that. And his friends were there trying to pull him back. He was trying to have a go at me again, you know, but I was just paying no attention to it. About 5 minutes later anyway, my wife came back, and I was in the process of telling her what was ever happening and all. I explained to her that this fucker had pushed into me and all, blah blah blah, as much as I could tell her in the nightclub with the music booming as it was. All of a sudden I was just drinking my pint. I got a tap on the shoulder. I turned around, and it was this guy, and I was about to slam my pint down and say, what the fuck is your problem? But by the time I said, what the fuck, bang, he fucking hit me with a headbutt right on the fucking corner of the eye, you know. Burst me open. Now, within the blink of an eye, my instinct reaction again, I had the pint down my hand at this stage. I turned around, I grabbed him by the scruff, and I mean to say, I reeled back my right arm, and I fucking bursted him with the biggest haymaker of all fucking time. I'm telling you what it was. Mike Tyson would have been proud of it. Straight out cold on the ground. He got up after about 2 seconds and he went to go for me again. And well, as I got him by the scruff of the neck again, and I was fucking battering him now. I was hopping off and bursting him from on the front of his head, on the back of his head, all over. I was fucking kicking. I was doing everything, like, you know, trying to get this fucker away from me. And his friends didn't butt in now, thankfully, you know, because there was about fucking 6 or 7 of them. They're just letting me sort it out myself between him and, you know, as two men would do. And that's not a great thing to be fighting in a nightclub. I know I don't condone it, but all of a sudden the other bouncers came in and they separated us and they grabbed him and they brought him outside. Left me there because they were ex-colleagues of mine and I got on with them and all that kind of stuff. But and all of a sudden the DJ in the nightclub, because he knew me, he put on the Rocky theme tune, you know. So, but it was a crazy situation. Like, as I had said the week before, I had witnessed my wife going into a fucking round, kicking and boxing these guys, you know what I mean? And then the following date, when I was out with her, I'm in the middle of a fucking row and I'm the centre of attention. But it was just crazy the way it happened. Now, I was working in the hotel at the time as well. Like, during the days, I was working in there as a storeman. And I went into work on Monday morning. Oh, sorry, before I continue, that was a Saturday night. I went back to the wife's apartment and we had a good time, you know, all the usual stuff that you would do after a night's entertainment with the other half. So the following day, I was playing soccer at the time, would you believe? And the following day we had a cup match. And now I'm 5'10", I'm 20 stone, like, you know, I'd be overweight, like, you know what I mean, but I'm not too bad, like, but I'm still overweight all the same. And we were playing a cup match in soccer. Now, I didn't start the game, but I came on as a replacement. And we were getting whooped, like, we were getting bet like 6-1 or something like that. But I came on as a forward, as a centre forward or something like that, you know. And we were there, and I got the ball out on the wing somehow. I don't know what happened, beside our home supporters. And there was this little guy on their team. He was about 5 foot nothing, I'd say. And I got the ball and I nutmegged him. I put the ball through his legs and ran around him. And he called me a fat cunt when I ran by him. Like, I know I could hear him. He called me a fat cunt. So I have an awful affinity when someone calls me some fat. I just flip, like, you know what I mean. I turn around and I get onto them. But in this case, what I done was I was straight on for a goal, like, you know what I mean. I just turned around. I paid no more attention to the ball. I turned around, stopped in my tracks, turned around. I grabbed him up by the scruff again. I had a black eye at this point from the night before. And I fucking pulled him into me. I said, if you call me that again, I'll rip your fucking head off, you little fucking runt. You know, and he's there trying to swing headbutts at me and everything. And there was a big fucking hoo-ha in the middle of the field then, everyone trying to come in and all the usual. I got a red card. He got a red card. We both got sent off. And my manager had to go at me, and I just had to go at my manager then. And that was the last game of soccer I ever played. I never went back to it after that. But on Monday morning, anyway, the following day, I went back into the hotel as a store manager as I was working. I was there in the hotel. I had to wear a shirt and tie and all that kind of stuff. I was a store manager. And the manager wanted to see me, or the owner of the hotel wanted to see me, and said he wasn't happy with what I had done on the weekend, with the row that I was in, you know. But sure, what can you do? Like, I was fucking attacked. Like, I wasn't going to fucking sit there and wait for the fucking bouncers to get through fucking 300 people to come and save me. I wasn't going to sit down and cower in the corner. I'm a fucking man. Someone does something to me, I will fucking do it twice as hard back to them. That's simple as. You know, you don't fucking start on me without getting away with it. So he wasn't too impressed. I told him what had happened exactly as it happened, as I could remember, because I wasn't drunk. I could remember everything. And he checked it on the cameras and all that, and there was no more said about it. But his nephew, or no, his brother-in-law actually played soccer with me as well, and he had told him that I was bragging in the nightclub that I was in a huge row in the night before and all this kind of stuff, and I killed this lad and I done all sorts of stuff, you know, the bullshit. So he went back and squealed to his uncle and all that, or his brother-in-law. But there's no more about it. I had a black eye, I had a shiner, but the moral of the story is, like, you know what I mean, yeah. It was just fucking so funny the way it happened. My wife was in a fight the week before, and I was in a fight the following week. Like, it was just crazy, like, you know what I mean? So we both know what we're both capable of, so thankfully it's never come to fisticuffs in our house or anything like that. But that's it. If you like this kind of stuff, leave your comments in the comment section below. I'd love to hear them, love to hear your feedback, and I'm going to keep this going with various stories. Sorry, thanks for watching, all the best, bye bye.